I love making something out of nothing. I'm not trained, but I am brave and determined. Of course, I could hire a professional, but DIY first. Well, what do we think about the two-tone top? I think it'll be fine, especially with what I'm thinking about doing for the drawer fronts. I think it'll go together nicely. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to be working on doors and drawer fronts for all of the cabinets. After I finish getting the doors and drawer fronts on, then the next thing will be the organization part of it. So I'm really looking forward to that, so I can kind of get everything where it's going to be, even if I need to come back later and do some specialized or customized storage solutions type things. At least I'll know where everything is, and I'll kind of know what kind of storage I need and what I need to build. I'm going for a two-tone look. So I have 2 sheets of plywood here. But the issue with these is that they're not the same thickness. One is about 1/2 inch and one is like 3/4 inch. So what I decided to do is use this 1/2 inch piece for all of the drawer fronts and doors for the base cabinet section, and then use the 3/4 inch piece for the tile cabinet doors or whatever fronts are going to be on that. I'm kind of going back and forth on whether I want to do some pullouts over there for maybe tool storage. I won't be able to really decide how to utilize that cabinet until I get to the organization phase of it. And then I can kind of see what all needs to go in there compared to the doors and the drawers and stuff that I have down here on the base, if that makes sense. I actually wasn't sure if I would be able to do everything I need to do with just these 2 pieces. So I did use the cut list optimizer, and it gave me this diagram of how to cut this piece of plywood to get all of the drawer fronts and doors out of this one piece, and then this other piece will be enough to do the tile cabinet. So because I have 2 different thicknesses and I wanted to do a two-tone type look, what I decided to do is to try to cut the thinner piece for the doors and drawer fronts, and then I'm going to measure the difference in thickness, and then I'm going to do some decorative trim, and the trim will be painted. So the drawer fronts themselves, I think I'm going to keep them the raw plywood look with a dark color trim around, sort of like shaker style, like a fake shaker. And then the doors, I haven't really decided yet. I may just paint them. I don't know. I'm gonna see how the doors and stuff look on the drawer fronts and the base cabinets, and then I'll kind of decide what to do with the tile cabinet once I see how that works. But first things first, I'm going to get all of the pieces cut. I'm going to actually follow the cut list this time, because the last time I did a cut list, I didn't follow it, and I ended up having a lot of scrap, a lot of wasted wood, which defeats the purpose. So I'm going to go ahead and get set up to get all of my pieces cut, and then I can go to the next step. So let me get started. Both of these are supposed to be 12. This one is 13 and this one is 11. So I'll figure something else out. Now that I have my rough cuts done to the rough general dimension, I'm going to use the table saw to cut everything down to its final dimension. So I'm going to go ahead and mark these so I can pair them together. That way I'll know which items need to be cut the same. Hopefully I don't mess up any measurements, because I don't have any extra. So I need to be somewhat precise, and y'all know how that goes with me usually. So I'm gonna do my best to try to get it right the first time. I kind of wanted to think about how to approach the next step because like I said, I don't have any more material to use, so I can't really mess this step up. What I did not do is get very precise measurements on how to split these supports here that's in the middle, because this is what the drawer front is going to rest against. I need to kind of split the difference when I install the different drawers so that they kind of have even spacing in between, but that both drawers are able to fall on this support, which is only 3/4 of an inch. What I think I'm going to do is start at the bottom, work my way up, but do one set of drawers at a time, because with the exception of this first one, I'm probably going to have to cut down all of the rest of the pieces, and I'm going to start with just the drawer fronts. Once all of those are in place, then I will do the doors based on where the drawers fell on the adjacent ones, if that makes sense. Hopefully I calculated everything right in the first place. We'll see, but obviously if I didn't, then we're gonna figure something out. I have already run into my first issue, which is going to make me pivot and change what I was originally going to do. I cannot leave this plywood raw. This is the good side of the plywood, and I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but you can see like white in between here where maybe they did like a filler or something. I'm not sure, but that's not gonna look good. Not quite sure what I'm going to do. I'm not prepared. I'm not mentally prepared to do this video today. I'm not prepared. And maybe I need to pivot and come back tomorrow and continue, but I'm clearly not prepared to do this video today. What I thought about doing was to go ahead and make the holes for the pulls, and then I can screw through those holes into the drawer front and attach it that way, and then pull it out and screw in from the back side to attach the drawer front to the actual drawer box. But I don't know what pulls I'm going to use, which means I don't know how far apart the holes need to be. And that's kind of important information to have. So that's not going to work. And that's my preferred method, because you're not adding extra holes. And once you get it in place, it's there, it's ready to go. So I'm gonna have to pivot, just gonna have to do it. In order to keep momentum, then what I might do is go ahead and sand down this, what you call this stuff? This wood filler that I put in. When was that? Several months ago? And it's been there since then, waiting to be sanded down. And I didn't even finish, like I didn't do across the top, because I think I may do, I don't know, I may do some kind of like trim around here, which may cover that top part up. Maybe that's what I was thinking. Maybe that's why I didn't go all the way across. I don't know what I was thinking, because it was so long ago. And I didn't even do that side at all. So I'm discombobulated. And when it gets like that, I kind of feel like I need to stop and come back, because I feel like if I continue, I'm gonna start messing up. And so far, I don't think I've messed up anything with these drawer fronts, except that they ugly. They ugly, and so I'm gonna need to paint them. I can still do the two-tone look if I want to, but now this kind of opens the door for me to think outside the box and potentially do something completely different than what I was originally planning. But I think I am gonna have to put that trim on, especially on these doors, because with the hinges, I was gonna use the concealed hinges, because I have some somewhere, and I was just gonna use what I have, and there's 3 cabinet doors here. So this 1/2 inch, I don't think is thick enough by itself to support those hinges. And so I think I'm gonna need to have that extra trim piece to make it, build it out to be 3/4 of an inch around the edges so that it can support those hinges. That's what I'm thinking, but clearly I am not prepared to do this. So yeah, I'm just gonna sand these down, and then we will pick back up tomorrow after I can kind of think and figure out, get my life together. That's what I need to do, get my life together. All right guys, it's a couple of days later, and I did a little bit of thinking, a little bit of planning and strategizing yesterday, and I came up with a new to-do list that I can use today to try to make some real progress on this phase of the project. I think I've come up with a game plan. I'm having to pivot just a little bit, but I think in general, I'll still kind of get the look that I was going for, but just it'll be a little bit different. And then if I change my mind about the way that I'm thinking about it, then I can always go back and do something different. But I have my list, and I tried to put on the list where I would need to pause and let things dry so I could try to be as efficient as possible. But I am going to paint the majority of the drawer fronts, the inside panel and all of that. I'm gonna get started on this to-do list. It's pretty cold today. It's down in the 30s, I think, but that's okay. I'm gonna keep moving, and hopefully the temperature won't mess up what I'm planning to do too much today. But I do know that I'm gonna need to cut everything down to its final dimension, get the spacing right, make sure everything is going to work. Then I'm gonna cut the trim and attach it and let that dry. Anyway, let me get started. I've been going back and forth trying to figure out the best way to get the proper measurements. I'm gonna use this ruler over here that I have. It's slightly thicker than an average ruler. This thicker one will be the vertical. So if you can see the difference in thickness of these two, this top one will be the vertical side and this will be the horizontal. And hopefully that'll look okay. It's a little bit later. I took a little bit of a break because I felt like I was kind of getting a little overwhelmed, and that's never good. Tend to make mistakes when that happens. I am back out here and it feels like it's gotten even colder than it was earlier. So what I decided to do is take this heater. I have this heater that's been here for 2-3 years, still in the box, never been taken out. So it's a Dr. Heater infrared, and I've never installed it, never used it, but I think today is the day because it's cold. And it's an infrared heater, so that means it doesn't blow. The way it heats is that it heats objects, not the air, but it heats objects in its path. So I was just kind of looking, trying to see where I wanted to position it. It's gonna hang from the ceiling and face down towards the work area. So I think I'll just kind of center it on this wall here. That way, regardless of where I'm working, if I need to warm up right quick, all I need to do is just go into the path of the heater and, you know, feel the heat. So hopefully that'll work. So I'm going to kind of figure out my position here. And luckily for me, the ceiling is wood, so I can screw in anywhere basically. So I'm gonna get this up, and then also I kind of had to think about next steps because I took the time to put the drawer fronts in place, and I really did not want to move them, take them off, and then have to redo that again. So I decided to go ahead and drill the holes for the pulls, and I saw on Amazon they have some just regular looking black handle pulls that I can get for like 50 cents a piece, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be cheaper than anything I can find at Home Depot, although I'll look at their website before I put the order in, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and get those from Amazon. I can get them delivered tomorrow, I think, if I go ahead and order them soon enough. So that's the plan. But for right now, I am going to get this heater put up and turned on and drill the holes for the cabinet fronts. Then I will have to make a decision about the trim, if I want to try to make my own trim by cutting down some wood, or do I want to go to the store and buy like the lattice trim that's already pretty much the thickness that I need. So first things first, get the heat up, drill the holes, and then we'll decide from there. Man, this heat right now, I don't know why I waited 2 years. I just been in here suffering for no reason, because this feels amazing. I'll put a link for this heater and anything else I can think of in the description. That's one of my things for 2026 is I'm trying to be more intentional about putting links and stuff like that. And I'm trying to get an affiliate thing going with Amazon. So if y'all want to support me and the channel and the projects that I do, maybe look through and see if there's something on there that you may want, and click it and buy it. I mean, I got some pretty handy stuff. This heater is one. Also, some of the jigs and other tools and things like that I've been using. I'm gonna drill the holes. I have this Craig cabinet handle and pull jig that I can use to help me make consistent holes in the cabinet fronts. So it has a little thing on the back that makes it have the same distance downward, and then also you just line this up in the middle. You find the middle of the cabinet and line this little line here up with the middle, and then do your holes there. So it has it to where you can do 2.5 all the way up to 5 inch apart. So I'm gonna order the 3-inch pulls on Amazon, I believe. Whatever I'm gonna do, it's gonna be 3 inches. So even though I don't have the pulls yet, I'm just gonna go ahead and decide whatever I get is gonna be 3 inches. And so I'm gonna go ahead and make the holes. And that way I can take the fronts off from the cabinet and do whatever I'm gonna do to them. And then I'll be able to get them back on in the exact same place that I had them before. I'll mark which side is the top and which side is the bottom, so I can make sure I get them back on consistently. And I already have them numbered by their placement on the cabinets themselves, so that shouldn't be an issue. Oh, Mr. Heat, whoever you are, Mr. Heater, Dr. Heater, thank you. This saves my life. My hands are, I mean, I can move my fingers now. I don't know why I waited so long. And you know how they say the thing you've been putting off can be done in 15 minutes? Not even 15. Like, I don't know why I waited so long. But anyway, I digress. I'm gonna get back to this so I can move on to the next step on the list. The next thing on the list is the trim pieces. I need to get them cut or buy them so that I can glue them in place and allow them to dry, and then maybe tomorrow can be paint day. But this is why I'm concerned about doing that. All right, so if you can see this, that is about 1/4 inch. I don't have a push block that skinny. That's a problem. And I'm not sure if I can make this cut safely. So that's kind of what's concerning me and kind of causing me to hesitate on trying to make my own trim this thin. So I think I'm going to try just like one test piece to see how sketchy is this. I do have this riving knife in place, and I'm going to keep that in place to keep the wood from pinching, and hopefully there will be no kickback. But I'm going to make sure I stand over to the side, and I'm just gonna test it one time, and if it goes well, maybe I'll continue, and if not, I'll just go to the store. I think that's the safest bet right now. So let's cut one piece and see what happens. day 2 or 3 of working on this project, and it has taken a lot longer than I thought. For some reason I thought I could do this project in like 2 days, and I think it's the 3rd day and I'm still like on step 2 or 3. Anyway, in order to help the glue up go a little faster, I am at Walmart. I'm gonna go get me some more clamps so I can, you know, kind of expedite this process. And I think I'm gonna bring all my stuff inside so I can do the rest of the glue up indoors. I think that'll be wise, even though I have my heater in there and it's comfortable, it's okay, but I think I don't want to really push it too much. I'm actually on vacation right now, and this is how I'm spending my vacation. So I thought I could be, I always have such ambitious plans, and things just always take so much longer than I anticipate, and I need to figure out why. But anyway, I'm at Walmart. I'm gonna run in here and get some clamps and then go back to the house. I'm gonna bring all my stuff inside and then continue with the glue up. And I think I may go ahead and do like wood filler too, so that can dry, so that way once I get everything glued up and all of that, then I can go take it all back outside and sand it all down again, like the final sand, and then move on to paint. So that's the plan. So let me go in here and get this stuff so I can get back to the house.